Okay, the hangout is on live. Hi, welcome to the Gamergate Oh Murr podcast. Right now, this is Ian here and me, of course, and to figure out we're just going to just randomly shit talk about the news stories that we've seen here about hashtag Gamergate. A lot of things we've got to talk about this year, so I think let's start off with the biggest one that happened. The bomb threat that Arthur Chu supposedly. I'm sorry, that's assuming.
Well,
that,
no. Yeah, he didn't suppose he he didn't make any bomb threats, did he? That Russian guy did. So
well, of course,
the
of
arm was
course.
clean,
It
but
could
like,
have been a Fire Nation.
yeah, it may be very fair to say that Arthur Chu sort of made that happen with his comments and that kind of thing, and it might be fair to speculate that he went off and made a fake Russian account, routed it through some dodgy foreign proxies, and did send a bomb threat. But is anyone going to ever do anything about it? I doubt it.
Well, I don't know. Like I said, I do think, I would like somebody, if there is a hacker out there, listen, if you've been hired by, Arthur Chu, Anita Sarkeesian, hey, I won't tell you, report you to the FBI. I really won't. But if I get your anonymous information, I would just love to hear you tell me who is doxing you and who's paying you to quote unquote hack these people that are being horribly harassed. Because come on, I can think Arthur Chu and Anita Sarkeesian, they got professionals doing harassing them. They're obviously hiring some people who are professional, shit posters to do this stuff.
Professional shit posters, right? Yeah.
There's no
such thing as professional. But there is actually. There are political pundits that go on the internet and do that kind of stuff. And these people will already have done that stuff. They're all very strong into their ideology and their politics. So they already know what to do, don't they? Which side, how to run their narratives and that kind of thing, and how to push the stories that they want pushed. So
I can see that. But let's be honest. When the whole Brianna Wu drama started, what did she put on her wall? The person said this, death to Brianna Wu. I'm sorry. I know 4chan trolls well enough to know that they're not going to be that stupid to write an account that says death to someone as that is their harassment count. Come on.
They wouldn't say that anyway. They would say Brianna Wu is killed. Ha ha ha, lol, top kek, lamau. That's what they'd say.
Yeah, no scope. Then they'll probably put like the 300 Thieves of Illuminati confirmed, no scope, get wrecked, mate, you bloody shite cunt.
They'd call her a kike and that'd be it. It's hilarious. But all the threats have been so comedic. I looked at some of the original ones that happened to Anita Sarkeesian. And she, of course, used to be a blogger for the Buffy the Vampire Slayer fandom and that kind of thing. This is how she knows Joss Whedon and all that business. So, anyway, let me finish. These threats that were sent to her were all about drinking blood and stabbing her in the vagina, and lots of it was about blood drinking. And I thought, this has to be connected to stuff I bet this is from years ago, and this got sent to her when she was blogging about Buffy the Vampire Slayer and stuff. And this is some weirdo's idea of what might be sexy talk in that fandom. And that's what I think is suspicious, amongst other things like the timing.
This almost sounds like I'm going to stab you in the bloody... That sounds
I'm paraphrasing there.
Okay, but the way you're paraphrasing it, it sounds more like someone's writing bad fan fiction. And I've read my share of bad fan fiction.
Yeah, it seemed like bad fanfic. That's what I thought. And then later threats have seemed more real. But there's nearly none of them mention Gamergate. Except where you can see that someone's deliberately implicating Gamergate in something.
Oh, well... Remember what was it? The Gamer X convention is trying to ban like dissenting thought, their group, because they're Gamergate members and they're trying to say Gamergate's the most homophobic group. And I'm like, You obviously don't know people in Gamergate. I mean, for Christ's sakes, we practically worship Milo Yiannopoulos.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it's unsurprising to me if you think of the Gamergate and the Not Your Shield demographic that we have. You think it's an international group. Yeah. So already 50-50, half of us are going to be women. Yeah. Then you've got like the gay men.
Okay,
The gay
I'll
white
be on
men
the.
going in Not
Okay.
Your Shield. Then you've got all the black people, in fact, any minority, and it's an international movement. So most of the people around the world are some sort of count as some sort of minority in San Francisco thinking. So most of Gamergate is composed of people. There are very few straight white men in Gamergate. Statistically, it's very hard for there to be a lot of straight white men.
No,
Um,
I'm gonna say this. I'll say there's a few more than the average random bus stop because let's be honest, especially when you're talking about socially active people who are gamers, quote unquote. Yeah, we can see there's more white people than average, but on the whole, there's a lot of people who are
Well, I've looked at the stats the other week, and there really isn't a lot of straight white men in Gamergate. There just isn't.
That's like people like them like say see evidence of misogyny. It's like, do they even know what the definition of that means? You hate women.
Yeah. Rather than you just disagree with radical feminists, which, frankly, only the insane could ever agree with radical feminists and other radical feminists, of course. It's a delusion that you have to wish to believe, isn't it? Really?
It is something you do have to. It is something you do have to wish to believe, and I think I think these people are as Karen Strawn said, a lot of them have like type 8 personality disorder, which is like borderline, so on and so forth. Like I said,
borderline, so on and so forth. Yeah.
Well, it's borderline.
We're all a bit borderline, so on and so forth, really, aren't we? I suppose at heart.
Well, okay. I'm not. Well, I'm trying to remember. It's like, what do you think? Their personality is very manipulative.
Personality disorder.
Yeah. I mean, these people are very manipulative.
Yeah, that sounds like narcissists who describe it.
Yeah, they're very manipulative. They want things to be all about them. They're the ones who are being, victimized and my oppression. Which I don't know what they're so oppressed about when some of them make more money than.
They're not oppressed, are they? They're guilty. They're not. Arthur Chu isn't claiming he's oppressed. He's saying women are oppressed in gaming. Women and minorities are oppressed in gaming, and he's saying that just to reinforce their narrative. He doesn't give a shit about gaming. He might have a games console. He might have played some games. He might write
I think
about
Arthur
them here
Chu,
and there because it's popular and it gets clicks. But
this is Arthur Chu.
Yeah.
Arthur Chu is just a sad human being in general. I mean, seriously, he literally, says some of the most hateful comments out there. Well, Macintosh is close too, but Macintosh is more of, suffers from, I'm a white person in San Francisco, and all these horrible minorities that I'm an American. I need to beat myself because I'm a white male who's straight.
Well, they're all being excessively aggressive because it's a tactic. They use this aggression to provoke you so they can get these responses, so they can say to the state, look, this needs to be dealt with. Look at all this anger from this person. And, of course, they don't point out what they did to get that person angry, of course.
Oh, of course. It's...
They say, I was going and talking about feminism. And when, in fact, they went and told gamers that they should be thrown in fucking ovens and burned. Yeah? And so you see why someone's suddenly raging. And it wasn't them talking about feminism at all. It was just... Chris Clue going on a rant. Or Geordie Tate going on about his gas camps and stuff.
Oh yeah, Georgie Tate. I mean, what is it? That guy? I think that guy has to be,
he's
somebody.
He's not really. Yeah, he popped in and popped out again when he saw how hot everything was. I think so. He's not being relevant in Yonks. Doesn't mean he couldn't come back. They all have a habit of doing that whenever they need some more publicity. But you know, generally there's a whole core probably of about 12 to 30 of people like the Man in Black and people like oh, you know, all the usual suspects. I'm not going to list them. They're always there, and then every so often one will jump in like Richard Stanton and say something really aggressive, and then he'll bugger off again. You see he's writing a book in the background, or Arthur Chu will say something stupid about one of our meetups like he did, and then the next day after going quiet for a week, he's posting, well, if you'd like to sponsor my new film called Who is Arthur Chu? I'm raising my Kickstarter. They're always e-begging. It's just so obviously e-begging.
Yeah, it is. You know, well, you know the funniest thing was, okay, the funniest video I've seen of what's happened so far is, you know about how bad Movie Bob was taken down, right?
By who, particularly?
There's two people who took him down quite a big notch. The first
Sargon
one
was
was,
yeah.
no, Sargon was just not. Sargon was good, but you should see the Razor Fist one. That one was,
right.
Oh my bloody god, you would laugh.
Yeah. Oh, I would. Oh, he'd just swear his fucking head off, wouldn't he? Fucking fat old Movie Bob. Yeah, bumbling old fucking octogenarian Movie Bob. I can well imagine the kind of shit that Razor Fist would say. Yeah. Whereas Sargon is going to be far more balanced.
Even well, Razor Fist is, you know, Razor Fist is just a metalhead. He is.
Yeah, I wouldn't say he's just a metalhead. You know, he's also an atheist. He's also not men's rights or whatever, not even Gamergate really. But there's a different buzz of
I followed the guy for years, and like I said, he doesn't, you know, consider himself, you know, a serious atheist. Like I said, because you know he's enjoyed people like the Amazing Atheist too. To be honest, I can understand why some people do not like the Amazing Atheist. You know, he's for me, he's not my cup of tea. You know.
He's difficult to listen to because he will start off very quietly and slowly, and then raise to a shout, and it'll rhythmically do that through his videos. So if you're listening to them at night and you're trying to lounge around on your bed and have a joint, you've got to keep getting up and turning him down and turning him up and down again. And it's hello there.
Yeah, pretty much. That's him.
Yeah, for an instant there, a Joker appeared in the window.
Okay. Hey, Third World Podcast has joined the group. Hello, Third World.
Hi there.
All right, I can barely hear you. Is your mic okay? Yeah, you might want to turn off your mic and just go straight audio, sir.
Still, it's a very lovely living room you've got there, mate.
Thank you.
No problem.
All right.
Yeah. But to carry on, while Matey gets himself sorted.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we
amazing
go.
vocal range he has.
All right. Here we go. Okay, guys. If you want to laugh and a half, I suggest that you guys watch this link. This is the takedown of Movie Bob.
Oh, right. Well, I can't really watch that in podcast, can I? Because that'll quickly sound pretty mental if we all do that.
Let's see if I can get the link on here from YouTube. Well, let's see.
Yeah, I think some good criticisms of Movie Bob and reasoning for why he's involved with this Gamergate shit at all is because he wants to sell his Mario book, which God knows. Presumably, he thinks he's gonna set himself up as a gaming guru again, using the powers of feminism and social justice. But
well, yeah. Wait, do you want to talk Third World? Because go ahead.
Is my mic working fine now?
Yeah. Okay, yes, we can hear you now a lot better. The background noise is still a little bit higher, so are you using mobile?
At the moment I am, but I can deal with that. Just give me a second.
Okay.
Should be dealt with.
All right.
Well, jumping like, Stop fiddling with your Zippo. Honestly.
All right,
You're so
I guess
hyperactive.
I'll continue. Like I was saying, I mean, if we look
Yeah.
at Movie Bob, he's always been a sad, sad little figure online. I mean, he's been one of those people that he's going off giving diet tips to gamers. I know I'm not an image of health. I mean, geez,
Hmm.
like I said, I work, like I said, I just do it for fun. I'm a gamer for fun. I like live stream for fun. So, like I said, I work at
Hmm.
McDonald's for a job, and when I worked there, our last job, I gained a lot of weight because, unfortunately, when you're eating fast food for every lunch, you're going to gain a few pounds. But yeah, but
Hmm.
Movie Bob is going and saying, take a bike, run, hike. Yes,
Yeah.
Movie Bob.
Hey,
You're the
movie
last
Bob.
person to need to tell people they need to diet and exercise when you weigh 350 pounds.
Yeah. What is that in stone? I'm 11 stone, which is quite normal for my height and age.
And one of
Discussion.
the guys said he was also concerned about dating in real life. I mean, I actually asked himself, what is the cost of mail order brides from where he's at?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, dating for gamers. Patronizing, really, isn't it? Because the ones that don't want to date don't want to hear the advice, and the people that do date or do want to date are dating and don't care to be patronized and told how to be good with women by Big Fat Movie Bob. I wonder
Yeah.
if his advice suggests why not take them to a movie. Thanks, Bob.
Well,
Typically how
Bob.
it goes,
Well,
isn't it?
Bob. Yes, that would be lovely. Except Bob Chipman. Why are you giving us movie? Why are you giving us dating advice when it obviously looks like the only dates you ever received are from Russian mail order brides?
I'll tell you what this is. He's struggling around trying to be relevant. And I mean,
I mean, yes, Jim Sterling struggles to be relevant, but on an off day, Jim Sterling can actually be funny and
yes,
even
true.
correct at points, and that's
Yeah,
sad. And that's sad because Jim Sterling, quite frankly, sucks.
yeah, yeah. Hey, well, here's the thing. I'm prepared to treat Jim Sterling more or less as a neutral, because even though I know he's anti-Gamergate and often idiotic about it, he hasn't patronised gamers to the same extent they have. He genuinely is a gamer. Um,
I think Jim Sterling, he's seen the writing on the wall and he's shut up. I hate how everyone's trying to make Adam Sessler. He's this anti-Gamergate, hates gamer, and Adam Sessler's just been like, hey, I'm doing my own thing. I'm staying the fuck out of this shit. Whether you're pro
well,
or anti, it's not my concern.
no, he supported doxing in the past and said that publicly in front of cameras. With Jim
Well, yes, I
Sterling
was there.
clapping
This
away
is
in the background.
SGC. Well, this is the thing. This was SGC 13, and
Yeah.
this is before it really got into Gamergate. The whole Sarkeesian debate was occurring, and
Mm,
still is. And the whole
mm.
thing they're trying to make out is, what do you think about these people who harass, threaten, do this thing, to people like that? And he said, yeah, I do think they should. Do you think they should be doxxed and they should be public humiliated? That's what he was trying to say. A
That's
lot of
exactly what
people.
he said. Yeah, yeah, I agree. I agree totally. That's kind of that order. Outrageous.
Well, and
Yeah,
I can see where, but so the problem is someone actually said that and said he was talking about Gamergate when he was just simply talking about people who harass people. All this drama about Angry Joe, which I've met both Angry Joe, I've met both Adam Sessler in person. Like I said, I don't know who here goes to conventions. Who's here has heard of Screw Attack Gaming Convention?
I haven't, but just one brief thing as an aside. Um, I was very disappointed in Adam Sessler when he appeared in that men ver this 25 things men don't have women don't have to deal with or whatever. Do you know what video I'm talking about?
Yeah, the 25 benefits of gaming that males deal with. Yeah, I think a lot of people were
Yeah.
like that, but it seems to me that he's kind of, he appeared in that video for a quick bit, then he's like stayed the hell out of relevancy.
Mm.
I mean, yeah, but even still, he still appeared in it. That's as good as saying like these things are like true, and and even though he was there for like one segment or whatever, it was like still he's saying that the other parts that he didn't appear in are okay. And it's like, Adam, I've thought that with you being around, you being a prominent gamer because he plays, and being around other people, you would see that with like he held a show with a woman. Did he not think of her as a woman? Did he think of her as like not a gamer because she was a woman and all that stuff? Like, are you saying that your own opinions are reflected in these? Like, this makes no sense, especially for you.
Well, this is this is one of the things that I actually know. If I go to SGC again this year, that you're going to see a big divide at the con. You're just going to see a lot of things are going to change about Gamergate. Apparently, for of the gaming world, it seems like Screw Attack has found itself. It talks about the shitstorm, but it's avoided like everything of the giant shitstorm that Gamergate has happened with, and that's kind of amazing. I think like I said, it's here in Los Angeles. I think actually nothing too bad will occur so far, but I don't expect to SGC to pull a honey badger against me. Then again, I'm a veteran con person, and I know the half the heads security there, or what lack of security we have at the con. So I don't think we'll have like what happened at Calgary Expo.
Well, it definitely don't have a Gamergate paraphernalia on you.
Oh, I probably still will, but the thing is, I know half the people who run con security, and yeah, I know half the people who run con security. I'm a veteran practically at that con, and yeah.
Mind you.
Okay, I wish you the best of luck.
Well, like I said, if anyone's listening or going to, is going to Screw Attack Gaming Convention in July, I am going to be hosting a Gamergate meetup. Yes, I'll probably have some little flyers. I'm trying to get a panel room, to discuss, but we can't get that. We'll at least find a open area in the lobby that says, "Hey, Gamergate people, let's meet up."
Yeah, that might be difficult.
Be prepared for bomb threats.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be prepared for bomb threats. I don't know. I'll have to check what their policy is on license to carry. This is Texas, mind you, so a lot of places do allow you to concealed carry, so this might actually be a good thing. So.
What? Wait, what? You can't take guns to conventions, can you?
A couple of them in Texas you can actually. Remember, I live in Texas. I don't live in England where guns are practically banned.
Yeah. I don't. I think you can get licenses for sporting type stuff. Like maybe shotguns or pistol target shooting stuff.
Yeah, here you don't need as many licenses. It's a lot easier. You don't have to get 300,000 licenses just to own handgun. You don't have to be treated like, okay, so this is your thing. You have to call a year in advance. You need to go this. You need to pay 200 this office and 300 this office and there. Now you have your permit. Now you can buy one.
Britain's too small for guns. I mean, imagine if we had people wandering around with rifles hunting every weekend. So damn small. People would get shot all the time. Ridiculous.
I would say that.
Yeah.
I mean, they allow just the same stuff that you can buy here in the Philippines, and the Philippines is probably just as small as England, too.
Yeah.
And we think we lost Third World Podcast.
Oh, no.
Oh, well, Yamada Sam has joined. Hi. Oh, okay, we can hear you, Yamada. Hello.
They're muted, mate. You might have to unmute him.
Okay, let's see if you
Click
can
on his
mute.
picture, and you'll see a little mute thing. Either he's muted himself, or you've accidentally muted him. Third World's back. Swimming.
Yeah, I think he muted himself. I think he's muted himself. Well, thank you for joining the podcast, Yamada. So, yeah. All right. And like we said, we're talking about that. So, yeah. I'm
Did
sorry,
you have you seen
Yamada.
that?
Yeah,
Have you seen that
it's
poll thing?
Yamada, not like Yamada.
I'm sorry about that. I just now recognized. I'm sorry, Philby. I go to anime conventions and I butcher these names all the time, so you have to forgive me. All right. So yes, we
Yeah,
were just talking about the random, shit
yeah,
posting about that. Do we have any other news stories for today?
yeah. There's this what's it called? Bell and the Bull. There's this story floated up out of Poll on 8chan, and it turns out that let me get the links up. I'll just give me a second to get these Inga links. I'll put them in the room for you guys to see, so you can appreciate the story. It's hilarious. Essentially, it's got everything that 4chan is interested in. It's got cuckolding. It's got a Jewish element. It's
Ooh.
got an element where there's a black guy cuckolding a white guy in it. Let me put these links in the room and I'll explain it better. There's the first one.
Okay, I do have to see this. I just have to see
Yeah.
this, and how funny is this going to be? Is that the link?
It's kind of funny. It's kind of weird. It's very Paul. Um, this guy who makes children's programs, this children's program called uh, uh, Bell and the Bull, and has made other children's programs, has also made a film about cuckolding fetish stuff, where yeah, where
Sounds
yeah,
hot.
he's a black guy. I would say he's a half white, half black guy. He looks quite European. He looks like a lot of English black guys do actually, especially with that hat on. But he makes children's He's a film producer. Yeah, he makes children's programs, and he's into cuckolding porn. Yeah, where he is the black guy comes and does this white lady in front of her husband. And so nearly all these children's programs and these films that he's made involve the plot line of this black guy who fancies this girl, and there's a white guy as well, and either the white guy's stupid or evil in some way, and so the black guy is always winning her heart, that kind of thing, or whatever. And as you can see how this has enraged Paul. And I mean, they spotted this out of sort of nowhere, and they've tied together one of their usual conspiracy theories, because in the cuckolding terminology, the term bull means a black guy who comes and does the cuckolding, and that kind of thing. And of course, it's called Bella and the Bulldogs, and they suppose that they were going, look, her hair covers half the word dog, so it just says Bull 1, which means something to Paul. And he's saying, and look at the Jewish guy, his shirt has 27 on it. And so now they've found that this is some important number in Judaism or something. And the other guy was going, look, the other guy's got 88, and that guy's got an 8 on his t-shirt. It's Hitler's birthday. And I was like, oh, what?
Oh shit! Illuminati confirmed. Time to get wrecked, no scope, mate.
Yeah. And so they went absolutely full Paul and getting bits out of Wikipedia about the Yom HaShoah, and so they're all convinced the world is ending and that like suddenly a
Well, I
huge
think
I'm
I'm starting to wonder if Jonathan McIntosh has a cuckold fetish. John C. Butler.
Yeah, well, if he makes her say these things that he knows people will react to, and then she gets a load of internet hate, maybe he is getting some kind of kick out of that. It's like, oh, these guys saying filthy things to my girlfriend. Oh, terrible. Oh, wang, 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 wang.
Anyway,
Oh.
I actually
Perhaps he has
discovered
his own.
something after a lot of time of research that I put into this, but it's not gonna be it's not gonna be obvious at first, but just keep a close look and you will find it.
Mm-hmm. What are you doing?
What the?
I think is that.
Wait a
Sensible
second.
Gamer? Oh my god! Is it a new Sensible Gamer video?
Have you noticed something?
Yes.
Let's look at the footage again.
Watching.
Derek, Illuminati confirmed.
God damn it, Yamada.
Yeah, it's the Illuminati. They're doing it all.
No, I mean like at first I didn't like even me. I've been watching this like over and over again, but like, and it was like for slow motion, and I just couldn't believe myself. It was there all the time, right there, a perfect triangle,
Yeah,
perfectly shaped.
staring you
Hold
in the
on, hold on, dude. Like seriously, like check this out.
Yeah, well,
Perfectly shaped
Oh my god, well,
triangle.
your profile picture, it has a triangle in the middle. Oh no, Illuminati confirmed.
No, actually, this one right there. You know, it was all the time right there, and I started watching like around like 64 times the same footage again and again and again. And one time I was looking at it, I was like, I'm so dumb. Like the triangle, it was perfectly shaped right there, so that you can actually put an Illuminati symbol just right inside it, and it will fit perfectly. No questions asked.
yeah,
Right there.
right there.
Hallelujah. Holy
Illuminati.
shit.
Triangles
Amen.
leaping out.
Oh man.
Okay, now back to hailing meth and smoke. Sorry, hailing Satan and smoking meth. What can we do today?
We'd rather not smoke meth.
Well, I don't. Well, I don't know. It might make you
Problem
look
with the
like
booze.
Trevor from GTA 5. Kukurus has joined here.
Oh,
Hello.
Hello, fella. Alright.
Also, like you, so.
Hmm.
All right,
Do you mind-
Kukuru.
Hello, Kookaroo. Do you mind if I run off and grab a tea quickly?
What?
Not you. Sorry, Kookaroo. I was talking to Jack and asking me if he minds me running off to make another cup of tea.
Go ahead, run off and make a cup of tea. Yes, like I said,
Excellent.
thank you for. All right, so
I'll
thank
be
you for
straight
joining
back.
Kukuru. Well, don't worry. We're not letting you leave that quickly.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, thank you for joining the chat. Like I said, for those who are wondering about the title, Gamergate Oh Murr. Well, this is mostly Gamergate, just random shit talking. Podcast, if you could say. But I figure I'm also furry, and I'll also give you my, points on, the social justice bullshit, that we get to see in our fucking fandom. Dear God, if I have to hear one more fucking person yell about how I need to check my transphobia, I swear to fucking God. All right, and so back to the point. So the cuck holding fetish, I'm just like, what the fuck? Why would someone have that as a fetish? I don't want to live on this planet anymore. Alright, so that, and we haven't heard anything from Third World yet.
I have no opinion on it.
You're just pretty much like, meh.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Kukuru, do you have anything new to join and talk about?
What are we talking about?
Well, this is, like I said, it's Gamergate, just like the latest happenings of Gamergate and all that stuff.
I don't know.
Okay, well, let's see. Well, find a way to keep the world entertained.
It was more. I was more so. This time, at least, I jumped in more so to listen than speak.
Like I said,
But I am what I've been looking at recently is because has been like the stuff people are saying about the Game of Thrones episode of last night.
I have not. I have really seen very little of the Game of Thrones, to be honest, mainly because I don't have HBO.
Yeah, that stops people. Okay.
That's the main reason I haven't. I've been more focused on what's been going on with Netflix, Marvel, and a little bit of Gotham.
I haven't started. I haven't watched Gotham yet.
Gotham's okay. It's good. It's not that good as a superhero show, but it's a decent as a detective show.
Okay.
That's the way I'd put Gotham. It's a decent detective show. It can go for a couple of seasons before it finally just ends up things. But Netflix's Daredevil, on the other hand, that is
Oh yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, that was lovely. I like that.
Yes,
It
I
was.
mean they made the perfect casting choices for that.
Yeah. And like Fisk is. Like, I forgot the guy that plays Wilson Fisk,
Oh
but
yeah, I know who
he
you're talking about,
he
Wilson Fisk. Yeah, Vincent D'Onofrio, that's his name.
yeah, Vincent D'Onofrio, and he, the way that he plays that character, like if you put it in context, like his background and all his like backstory and whatever, like when he was a kid, he literally just like looks and behaves like a giant child. It's like I don't get what I want. I didn't get what I want. Yell and start throwing punches.
Mm.
Well,
Oh
Wilson, yeah,
man.
that was definitely. I just liked how he does such a good job of doing Wilson Fisk and Vincent D'Onofrio. I mean, he's a good character actor. That's his thing. I mean, they made a right choice, and I probably because
Hmm.
Vincent D'Onofrio is not like a triple A list actor. That's why he was able to get the role.
Yeah. Whoa.
Ish. You
Yeesh.
okay? Did you fall off?
There
Oh
was a
dear.
meteor.
Yeah. Well, he was doing the podcast from the back of his Chocobo, and sometimes this thing will take off and pull the sock out the wall. I tried to ask him to, get down off his walking chicken, but no, he won't have it.
Yeah. Gotta take better care
Yeah.
of his chocobos.
Yep.
Yeah.
Damn those chocobos.
Sorry,
Everything
I
was
better.
fine until the Fire Nation attacked.
Yeah. Yeah. Fire Nation.
Fucking Fire Nation, you fucking bastard.
Mm, yeah. Well, a lot of people blame stuff on me, but really it was the Fire Nation and the
It was
Illuminati.
too. It was.
Mm,
Them, the Illuminati. Oh, it was.
I'm desperately trying to go through a podcast without saying anything politically incorrect for a change.
Oh, for Christ's sakes! You
Well,
can't.
just a.
I'm politically incorrect as it
The
is. Go ahead and
the
say it.
thing
Oh
about
no,
being politically correct is like that's like it's
well,
basically
We're
become
fighting
a form
against.
of censorship.
That's what we're fighting against in Gamergate. We don't mind if you're politically incorrect. We'll let you know when
yeah,
you're
yeah,
going
yeah, yeah.
too
Well, my
far.
content will be. I'm just trying to avoid it personally, just so I feel that I'm in control at least of my political incorrectness, and not that it just keeps blurting out. Because I had a problem at a barbecue the other week. Someone was asking me about the computer stuff that I do, and I ended up talking about poll, and I explained what poll was, and like after that, nobody else in the party wanted to talk to me, and I sort of after about 20 minutes thought, "Fuck this," and wandered off home.
Oh
Basically, because
no,
I
it's
just
not as
explained
bad
what
as
poll
me.
was.
I tend to be the drunk. I tend to be the very happy drunk at parties. So the more I drink, the happier
Yeah.
I get.
Well,
And
I
yeah,
wasn't. Yeah, I was fine. I'd only had about half a bottle of wine. Yeah, I wasn't drunk in any way, shape, or form, and I was just explaining as a third party person what poll was, and they were just so freaked out by it. It took them a minute. For a while, they were laughing and joking along, and then it sort of began to sink in, and then suddenly nobody wanted to talk to me at this damn thing. I thought,
oh, well, where were you at that bloody thing?
oh, well, I knew the guy that I was with, and he didn't really even notice it. But it was just a bunch of strangers I didn't really know. It was sort of yard drinks.
Well, I tend to like hang out with for example, I tend to hang out with mostly geeks, freaks, geeks. So it's like with me, I'm like, yeah, we can talk shit about Pole, 4chan. They don't know
Yeah.
as much about 8chan, all that stuff, which I'm like, yeah, not for everyone.
Mm. Yeah. It was
No,
very
of course,
weird.
like me and my friend will make jokes of, if you really want to laugh, type in your name, and
Yeah.
let's say there's an internet video calling. Look for blank the hedgehog.
Right. Yeah.
And just see how cringeworthy your results are.
Right.
Like,
I
I think
will
it
at
was
some
my
point.
friend Ryan, he got Ryan the Hedgehog, it was like a hedgehog who was a diaper from the diaper fur. I shit you not.
Yeah, that's nice.
Oh, it's a fun game. It's a fun game. Get people drunk playing this game. I guarantee you'll have a lot of reactions. Mine was just a random gay fur, but the funny one was my friend Tyler. It shows him as a hedgehog wearing a banana hammock. So it's very funny about that, seeing those videos. Right. Yep, all was okay until the Fire Nation attacked. And also, firm injustice stood.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Sorry about disappearing there. I was closing some links, some different tabs to like clean things up a bit, and of course I went and closed the room. I just thought, get rid of YouTube, get rid of YouTube, get rid of YouTube. Oh no, that's Google Plus.
Google Plus. Oh no.
Yeah.
All right. So here we go. So let's see. Yeah. So I'm glad to kind of see everyone join the podcast, the cast. So I'm surprised there's more people than I was expecting. Everyone join in. So I want to thank at least Third World and Kukuru for joining in. And I can't believe Yamada left. I mean, like, we wanted to hear more of him.
Yes, that was a fascinating little visit, wasn't it?
It was. Hearing the Illuminati is everywhere, nowhere.
Yeah, they heard us talking about them and they sent an agent over, didn't they? Have a look at this strange film. We are everywhere and we are doing chin-ups on the door frame.
Yeah,
The Illuminati is buff.
If you don't listen to us, Illuminati will kill you and your children, your family, and your everything. Because we're everywhere and nowhere at the same time.
Don't call them out, ye gods.
Oh,
Ye
God.
gods and little fishes.
Oh, shit, they'll kill me on the roadway. Oh, no.
No. I'll tell you, what they do with Hangouts is they just make it go all ropey. I mean, we'll be thinking we're chatting away, and everyone on the other side will be thinking, and they'll think, oh, fuck this, I'm turning this crap off. You watch, we'll have no viewers in a minute.
Pretty much. That's what they do. That's what Illuminati does.
Yeah. They walk past your house and poke your dog with a stick so that it makes some noise. That's how they do it.
Yeah.
It's easy. They've got people everywhere. That's how they're able to have someone in your area with a stick.
It makes you feel scared. Illuminati is everywhere, and nowhere. They even watch you while you sleep.
Yeah, and they've got cameras in the toilet. The whole bit.
And don't
They
think
know
don't
when
think
you're
you're
awake.
safe.
Yes.
They know when you've been bad or good.
Yeah. So
They know.
good.
Especially know when you're fapping.
Yeah. Otherwise, they'll strap a cage on your head and put a rat in it.
Santa Claus?
Oh no! This is a funny story. I actually had that, and all of a sudden, I had randomly a camera from nowhere turn on.
Yes.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, I just randomly had a friend of mine called me.
Ah, yes. Yeah.
I always love that when it occurs. Your random friend calls you who you've never seen you in months, so that's always fun. Oh yes.
Yeah, it's a pain that he's. We'll add him to the podcast.
Unfortunately, he doesn't have Google Plus, so he doesn't use it.
He doesn't need it. He doesn't need Google Plus. You just need that invite link. Anyone can join. You don't need a Google Plus account, I don't think.
True. True, that's interesting.
Trust me, Gamergate wouldn't work if everyone had to have a Google Plus account. People like, oh, fuck that.
Yeah, that wouldn't work.
Hmm.
But it's definitely something funny. You want to think about it. Yeah, but definitely I can't wait. But like I said, where are you from, Kukuru? By the way, because you haven't talked. You've been pretty much more or less like, when you're listening.
Are we busy drawing us? Yeah.
That's because I'm not very good with English.
Oh, okay.
I'm from Spain.
España?
Yes.
Yeah.
I know a little bit of I know a little bit of Spanish because I'm from, like I said, I'm from Texas, so it's like, but it's not, like Spain Spanish, more of, Mexico Spanish, so it's more of that.
It's probably just going to be you shouting English words in a vaguely Mexican accent, isn't it? Just like, hey, you, and you stick Y on the end of everything. You, Johnny, picky uppy. So, stop.
No, it's not
I
like
can't
that.
even keep away from casual racism. Just, I can't even fight it. Not even for one podcast. Just, yeah.
Well, it's okay. We haven't made rape jokes yet.
Oh, thank God, no. I'll tell you what this is about. I was
Darn.
listening to a podcast
That's what I was
with
here for.
Oh, the rape jokes. Well, guys, want to play the rape game?
I can't.
Yes, I do.
Hey, only if I get to level up. Now.
No, someone's supposed to say no. Someone
Someone's
say
supposed to say
no.
no, and you're supposed to go, that's a spirit. Brilliant.
I love that game because it's like I'm with furries and like there's two types of furries. The SJW ones are like rape jokes are never funny. That's horrible. How dare you make those jokes? And all the furries who are like they're pro fetishist.
Yeah.
They go to the fetish balls. They go to the underground clubs where you have orgies. They're like they're doing their best not to laugh because they're veterans. They know that's just a joke.
Yeah.
Stop fetish shaming, bro.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing about SJW furries, like complaining about things, like complaining about rape jokes. You're dressed as a wolf or a member of the animal kingdom, where most of the sex that happens is rape. A male decides it wants that female, charges around it all day long, and then grabs it when it's tired and fucks it. So your whole sexual fetish is politically incorrect. So why are you stomping around ruining everybody else's day?
Well, I think the problem with these people is like they've never had to struggle, they've never had any fun, they can't validate themselves. So if they can't have fun, no one can have fun.
I think there is a lot of that to it. I mean, their validation is this sense that they're building the perfect world with socialism, and that allows everyone to be an enemy, and that's really cool because I don't like people very much. So yeah, I think there's an element of the people fitting the ideology.
It's like, well, I think that's like they're like the worst elements of socialism and fascism put together. It's like they want the world to be like, Demolition Man, where cuss words cost you money, where John Spartan, you will now be charged 3 credits. John Spartan, you are now charged 6 decency credits. You're charged now 8 decency credits, 12 decency credits, 12 decency credits. It's like, I think he did that. It's like, well, I got my toilet paper now.
Yeah, that's it. It was brilliant, wasn't it? I remember that scene. It was lovely.
Well, I think that's the world that SJW seriously wants. Guns are banned. Fun's banned. Everything's banned.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at 1984 and the novel Harrison Bergeron, two different authors, but both views of dystopian SJW-style futures, and there are literally people walking around in chains because they're too strong, with implants in their ear that buzz and distract them all the time to keep them from being too smart and that kind of thing. And of course, we're all vaguely aware of 1984 because they make you bloody learn it still in school, and a good thing too. And that's exactly the same kind of stuff.
The thing about 1984 is it's a good book, but I think people try to forget about it is it's good, but what I like about what I think is the world's not going to be 1984 because everyone wants to make it like it's dystopian. It's going to be more of a dystopian comedy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, a colourful dystopian future. But
it's going to be all bright green. Everything's going to be colorful, and we're going to have tons of this stuff, and everyone's going to be there. There's going to be no sexism, no hatred, all this lovely stuff.
But there just isn't going to be anything.
Exactly.
It's just going to be state stuff. They'll let you out of your house in the morning. You'll be forced onto a bus, locked in at work, and then dropped back at you and locked in your house at night. And there was a story actually that popped up today that was highlighting this. I haven't got the details to hand, but it was a school in Texas. There's something church school or something, and this woman had come to pick up her kid. There's been some issue or whatever, and he'd been put out in this timeout room with like nothing on the walls, no windows, and it had this circle painted on the floor, well, drawn on the floor in magic marker or something, and he had to sit within that circle for like 90 minutes so he could have 90 minutes in the school. And apparently they kept him in this room for a couple of days, nothing to do, like with this cold air, and he was supposed to sit there in the middle of the floor in this little circle. And his mum comes in one day, finds them doing this to him, and she asks him questions about it. And apparently he's sometimes had to sit there all day for like 2 days in a row in these safe space timeout rooms. And I thought, this is shocking. Man. People get right up the arse when this kind of stuff happens in Guantanamo Bay. How is this any different? This is a tiny little kid. He could only have been about like 6 or 7 or something like that. And of course he was bawling his eyes out in this kind of business. Absolutely incensed I was. And you know what happened? A lot of this, someone made a website and saying, look at these photographs, look at this happen, this is terrible. And that went viral, as you can expect. Yeah, so that kind of thing happened. A protest happened, and people contacted the local school board and that kind of thing. And they just gave them a vague explanations of the differences between safe rooms and focus rooms or whatever. And nobody had asked them what's the difference between a safe room and a focus room. They'd asked them, why the fuck are you locking up kids like this in sort of prison cells, effectively? And they didn't answer that question. They were just shrugging and like, policy, fuck you. Very weird. Did any of you get that, or have I logged off somehow? Shit. That was odd. Anyone here?
Sorry, I was dealing with some YouTube nonsense.
Oh, sorry.
Some claims appeals and whatnot.
Oh, right, yeah. Oh, you've been DMCA'd, have you?
Yeah, but it's not. It's irrelevant to what's going on in the conversation.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Okay.
So anyway, that was the story I saw today, which I thought was very depressing because it's pretty much the state saying, no, this is how we are treating you these days. This is what we're going to be doing to the next generation. Fucking like it or lump it. Which is
the thing about that is they've been doing that type of things to boys in general. It's one of those things where it's like the world has to be like infantilized and made like the whole world needs to be a safe space. Our world needs to be a very safe space for women, and everything needs to be very calm, very controlled. There's no room for anything bad or wrong. And it's like
because this is what feminism looks like.
yeah.
And apparently feminism sounds like a 57-year-old smoker. But
yes, ma'am. We're gonna check your patriarchal privilege.
It's big red, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, yes. My greatest fear is I think I know how I'm going to die. I'm going to be in my 30s, and I'm going to be mobbed by an army of elephants wearing hipster sunglasses and neon-colored hair.
Possibly.
That's probably how we're all going to die. It's just they're going to.
Yeah.
That's going to be the new zombie apocalypse. Forget zombies in general. They're just going to be the SJW apocalypse. They're all going to look like Melody Hensley and Rebecca Watson and come after and kill us all.
But that is the horrifying kind of future, that if you let this stuff develop unchecked, this is where it will end up. And I think we are countering it. I think it is working, but it's
life's
so
not really
worrying.
going to be worth living for the most part, because pretty much everything you do is going to be some type of violation, and it's like, especially if they get these laws changed or whatever, like
I almost want to be like Dennis Leary.
You need to have a like, did you check your privilege today? Ah, shit, I forgot. Yeah. And then you get some type of timeout, which is basically like you go to jail for like a certain number of days because you forgot to check your privilege, whatever the fuck that means.
No. Checking your privileges is just going to mean you're going to have one of these SJWs shove a phallic object up your butt.
Oof. Yeah.
Oh, it has to be phallic because that makes the rape count.
Yep, yep. We have to do it because our existence is just raping women.
What if Tumblr is just a big nonce factory where older perverts groom hundreds of thousands of kids?
Can you say that again?
What scares me about Tumblr is, I think the next organized religion is not going to be, Islam. It's going to be Doctor Who.
Yeah.
It's going to be like a religion based off Doctor Who, Sherlock, and what else, and British actors committing yaoi. That's going to be like the religion.
Yeah. Well, it almost is, isn't it? I mean, people's hobbies are so obsessive these days, and their
Unfortunately.
politics, and their politics are so polarized that yeah, people. It's this identity politics stuff. It makes people over-identify as things, where when that's a very bad thing. Because every time you identify yourself as something, it's always slightly untrue about you, and it always discards other relevant factors about you, your personality and your life, and all that yada 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 stuff. So when they see
Yeah.
themselves as SJWs, they kill vast chunks of themselves, and bottle it all away, and package it away, and sit on it. And it's not really themselves they're doing all this harm to. Yeah.
Yeah, that when I see people who have like fucking they have titles like fucking Daenerys from Game of Thrones. I'm a radical feminist, SJW, Hoovian, what else? Muggle, all that type of shit. It's just like,
Mm.
are you really like that? Like, are you having some type of like
Mental
24/7
breakdown.
identity crisis? You can't just be a fucking person.
That's the thing. It's the sad thing. One of the problem with the furry community is we're getting raided by these other kin.
Oh
No.
God. Oh God. Those are like the
Yeah.
stupidest motherfuckers ever.
The
Yeah.
problem is they are seriously mentally insane. Listen, there's a difference between fursuiters. There's a difference even between fetish fursuiters, which, if you don't know, that's where the ABDL furs and the you know gay furs, or I'm a furry who loves underwear furs come into. But no, what's
Mm.
scary is the other kin, because they're the ones who'll actually think they'll try to scratch themselves like they're a wolf and piss their neighbor's lawn, or if they're the
Oh,
cat other kin, they'll wear a collar and eat cat food like they're mentally insane.
It's
really?
bas-
Cat?
is yeah. It's basically just another way of shirking responsibility.
Yeah.
You don't have to actually conform to the normality of being a human because you're a fucking human. You're not a goddamn dragon.
Yes.
I think
Oh
that yes.
God, no, no, no! It gets worse. See, the furry fandom has to deal with the dragon kin, the wolf kin, and those. And people confuse them with Therian furs because those people are like, they're Therian people are just, we're like the new age hippies and shit. We believe that there's animal spirit, blah blah blah, but they don't actually think that they're a physical animal stuck in a human's body. They think, oh, well, your animal spirit's a wolf, or your animal spirit's, coyote, or a mix. They actually don't believe that you're a fucking wolf or a coyote.
No. And frankly, furries don't often look like real wolves or coyotes. They look like cartoon versions of that. So I can see
Yep.
very much it's less sexual than a lot of fetishes, and
It
has
is it
far
is
more
less
fandom
sexy.
stuff to it.
It's most the problem is I like to say in a lot of ways it's like the LGBT branch of the entire geek fandom.
Mm.
That's a good way to say it.
It's the
The
what?
tolerable LGBT side, not the one that has to whine and whine and whine about Yowie and Doctor Who and Sherlock and
Mm.
those people.
Mm. Well, as I say, it's all. There's so much of every different, all sorts of this stuff, all this fandom stuff out there, and I really only follow very few bits of it. It's like when we had that all the stuff goes off into the Metalgate stuff or the Comic Gate stuff and that kind of thing.
Oh, well, I thought it was funny when we created Allgate, you know. Hey, it doesn't matter what you're a fandom of, as long as you're tired of SJWs and corruption, Allgate, we've got your fandom covered.
Yeah, that's a subway stop on the London Metro on the
Allgate?
London Underground. Aldgate and Aldgate East. Yeah. It's got a D in it though, so it's Aldgate rather than Allgate. Yeah. I was up that way the other week. We had the UK Gamergate meetup about a month
Yeah, I'm
or so
trying, like I
ago
said,
now.
I don't know the Gamergate meetup in Texas, so that's why I'm kind of hosting the first unofficial one here in like the Dallas area, which is going to be in SGC in July. There might be one sooner, but I haven't been notified in all the various Facebook groups. So yeah.
Well, I would leave it a while because there's been two. There's been one in Dallas, and there's one coming up in another place in Texas later this
Austin?
month. Austin, yeah. So
okay, because I guess I didn't catch the one that happened in Dallas. No one told me about it. So
that was actually Phoenix's thing she organised. It went really well. It was okay. I think she'd over prepared for it really. I think they'd gone to try and do a little kind of mini-con thing in the back of a bowling alley, and they had a presentation and speakers and all that kind of stuff, and someone filming it, but all the equipment gave them problems on the day, gave them a lot of problems, so they didn't come out quite as good, but the pictures were very good. You could see that obviously the meetup itself had gone well, they just hadn't really been able to do it.
One of the reasons why we're doing it inside the convention is because it's going to be a lot of gamers there in general. So we want want people who are already going to the con to come to our meet.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Maybe an after party is what we want to. Oh, they'll bomb threat it with me. An after party, they really will.
Oh, we're not going to worry about bomb threats too much. Haven't terrorists forgot what happened to Texas when they tried to shoot up the Muhammad Drawing Festival?
Yes. That's a good point, yeah.
Yeah, well, okay, they had police presence there, Muhammad Drawing Festival. Two of these terrorists try to come out this car. GPD, they shoot one security guard who is unarmed. GPD police officer grabs his handgun, starts shooting at these guys, like, right there. It ended like that. Oh.
Yeah. Just, they shouldn't be having guns in this area. Bang, bang! Sorry.
Oh, wow.
This
is Texas. I guarantee you probably find half a dozen people carrying at that convention. It wouldn't be a massacre. It'd be a shootout.
Mm.
Yeah, we don't have as many shootings. We tend to have more massacre. We tend to have more shootouts than massacres here.
Yeah, plus you're not going to get an awful lot of SJWs voluntarily living in Texas, are you?
Oh, well, no, you will. It's Austin, Texas. Yeah, Austin, Texas is like the place where SJWs in Texas flock to because that's the closest thing they have to San Francisco inside of Texas.
Yeah,
I can see that.
Yeah, but you have some of them in Dallas, and you have some of the major cities, but you just don't really have that many because they know here they're in the minority. It's like they know that they're in the minority here. They're starting to realize, oh shit, we are in the minority.
Yeah, if I start calling people sexists and bigots, I'm going to get fucking shot.
Well, you're not going to get shot in, like Plano, Texas, or in a nice neighborhood. But if you go to South Dallas and start calling, I'm sorry, I'm so forgive me if this sounds. If you start, calling the next, NWA lookalike a racist, sexist bigot, with rainbow-colored hair, you better be caring because I guarantee you're probably going to get shot.
Yeah.
Off of MLK Boulevard saying that stuff.
Yeah. How fitting.
Yeah. Well, MLK Boulevard is the area where there's a lot of gunshots, actually.
Well. We have Nottingham and the Old Mile Road, often known as the Murder Mile.
Yeah, well, you have that. You have Nottingham and the Old Mile Road. We have, I don't know, here in Dallas, we have pretty much South Dallas and Pleasant Grove. A little bit of Oak Cliff, but mainly South Dallas and Pleasant Grove. It's the misnomer. It's the misnomer because it's Pleasant Grove. It's the opposite of it, really.
Yes. We were going to call it Hellhole, but yeah.
It's so pleasant.
We
You know?
can't. We were going to call it hellhole, but we just couldn't seem to get a permit for that.
Yes.
Yeah.
They complained.
Yeah. Well, hell has been taken by Detroit.
Yeah. They got a Twitter hashtag together and.
Yeah. Well, I think what don't we like see? I think we see more murders than when you're in Dallas and when you probably see in London.
Oh yeah.
Area probably because everyone's here.
Oh, in the whole of the UK, I bet you have a higher murder rate than in the whole of the UK. I bet.
In Texas. Well, in Texas probably than the UK. Well, probably that
Yeah, just Texas. That's what I'm sort of saying. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
It's
I think
just an American
I think as long as you take because what is it like Northern? Isn't like Northern Ireland like really bad and everywhere else in the UK is like extremely peaceful, but Northern Ireland's like the worst one.
Well, it used to be, but of course there's been greater restrictions on guns for a lot longer. Hasn't stopped the IRA really from getting hold of guns. Hasn't stopped people from getting hold of guns all the way back. But there is less of it. But I mean, they would often do. They would rarely. When there was armed attacks, it was usually against soldiers. But more often than not, what they did is do these punishment attacks called kneecapping, where they'd either shoot someone in the knees with a shotgun, or do it with an actual drill and fuck their knees up so that they were always staggering around. And often it'd be done to like people who've been drug dealers or different types of faction of terrorists and that kind of thing. And it's done literally to cripple them so they can't run anywhere, so they can't be doing their drug dealing and they can't be doing terrorist activities, and they're always marked.
God.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I just came across a video about that includes Jessica Valenti. I haven't watched it yet.
I haven't watched. I try to avoid anything that has Jessica Valenti or Rebecca Watson in there.
Yeah.
I think she's a cunt, though, and I mean this in the British word "cunt." I think well, yeah. Well, see,
the Brits certainly love their cunts.
Yeah.
Well, we love our fucks and shits here, so.
I mean, people do say that it's a less of a deal over here, the word, but we really don't use it very much. I think it's a certain class. Well, literally, if you're scum, you can use the word cunt far more often than everyone else in England, but it's something we don't use a lot. Seems that I think the British themselves have perpetrated this myth that we're allowed to use the word cunt because we're British and it doesn't matter. And I think it's come about because we accidentally do use it a lot, and people get really offended by it. So we've created this rumour that stops us getting chucked out of groups and gaming clans and that kind of thing. We're lying to you. We're not allowed to say cunt. It's a very rude word.
Oh God. I'm seeing the link. I'm just gonna watch it and probably cringe. So, yes, Jessica Valenti.
But the backlash that's still happening. I mean, the fact that you could have this 140-page misogynist manifesto by a mass murderer and people still say, yeah, sexism didn't really have anything to do with that, I think goes to show how far we still have to go.
Thought experiment. If that was an anti-Semitic manifesto, if it was a white supremacist manifesto, if it was the jihadi manifesto, everyone would view it in clear and stark ideological terms. But unquestionable.
Right. We don't see misogyny as an ideology. We see it as a given free.
Yes, but Alexis McGarty in the U.S. wants to.
Yep.
Bloody Jessica
I saw that. Valenti. Yep. Boom.
Inventing misogyny again, is she?
Pretty much inventing misogyny. Which okay, the guy who shot up the thing, I was like, God damn it, do we really need this? This is California. You already have more than enough control in that state. Why are you trying to yell about, well, this is another reason to restrict gun ownership in California. You already have gun control in the state.
They're talking about Elliot Rodger. And the thing about that is, I can see, the thing is they're getting mixed up. It's not about that dude didn't do what he did because he's just like, oh, it's misogyny, blah 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 blah. He was one of those people that didn't necessarily get a fair shake at life, and he just really didn't understand why. And he kind of like he obviously had problems and issues mentally and whatever. And he the way he the thing that it was is actually kind of the opposite of misogyny. Like he thought that getting a girlfriend was gonna make his life better. Not like he didn't feel like they owed it to him. It was more like, why won't they? It wasn't. He thought that getting a girl, having sex, and all that stuff was going to make his life better. Realistically, it was probably going to make it worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I thought the guy was just the guy was a psycho, and this is the thing, you know, what reasonable average human being thinks, hey, today I'm going to shoot up a school full of children, and I'm going to go ahead and commit mass suicide. I admit I have a Michael Bay style mind where I think of those action sequences, you know, for moments, but
Yeah.
you don't see me thinking, hey, I am going to grab a gun and shoot 30 people today. That's no sane human being does that.
Yeah. Well, no sane people do that. And this has been the thing with all these young teen male shooters. You find that they've been through a school system that regards them as problematical anyway, and it's turned around and put them on all these drugs, like Ritalin and that kind of thing. And they've grown up on these drugs. So there's and it's the first generation that it's sort of happened to. So there's no way.
Whoa. It's misogyny.
Yeah,
Whoa,
obviously
whoa,
it's
whoa,
misogyny,
whoa, no,
rape culture, and the patriarchy, but yeah. But no, I reckon like there's so many weird young men going around shooting up schools, and there's not actually many. There's very few really, but I think it happens too much because all these drugs, all these.
Well, so this is the country where we apparently make drugs so fucking easy to get.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's harder to get prescription drugs, but Jesus Christ, you can find a fucking weed almost anywhere and everywhere.
Yeah.
But another thing that's the issue is a lot of these shooters, they're like pretty much in like a very distinct age range. It's not many like 45-year-old shooters that are shooting up, you know, elementary schools.
Well, they're between the ages of 14 and 24.
Kids themselves, really. Oh, bloody light.
Yeah, and it's like you're going through a lot of growing and a lot of BS in those age ranges, and the problem that I see, it's not like this blatant patriarchal oppression and blah 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 blah. It's more so that a lot of people just don't care about male children's well-being for the most part. It's like you get up, like they care about you because you're a kid, and then when you get up to a certain age, they just say fuck it, unless you're like, you know, unless you're like going to be like the next, you know, big football player, the next big NBA star. It's like other than that, or if you're like some type of genius that just happened to be born that way. Other than that, a lot of times they just don't care about you.
Oh yeah, that's the problem. You look at the education system in America, and unfortunately, you have the problem where you have had these radical feminists who have had their hands, you know, on the education system for years. It's pandered to their ideas. It's pandered to their philosophy. At the same time, you have these teacher unions who really will not budge, who basically said, you're not about to put more funding for another charter school here. You're not about to put more funding for get these kids. So what do you want us to do? I mean, you need an overhaul of the education system in America. No one's going to do it because, you know...
This is worldwide. There's a system now. They have to meet targets. They have to meet league tables to get their funding for their school. And I was looking at that school that I mentioned earlier and its statistics. Now, it has a demographic that is half and half between white people and Hispanic people, and then there's a smaller percentage of African Americans in there as well. But it's mainly these two groups of Hispanic and children. And this school performs above a lot of the others in its state and that kind of thing. It really is good at educating people. But I think they're good at getting these tests. So that means that they're doing stuff like this. If they're having kids that in problems that are in any way, shape, or form, they get them straight away from the rest of the class and they let them fucking fester. And I expect what happens is kids like him and whoever they keep putting in time out all the time, eventually they will get him on drugs. They will say this kid is not doing well, and they will get him put in this institution
Well,
before he gets anywhere near graduating.
I think a lot of ways, these schools, they tend to get these kids, they tend to set them up, for the life choice. A lot of kids in these schools who are underprivileged minorities in America, then fortunately they set them up really for prison.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's what they're doing in order to keep their grade point up, so their funding keeps coming. And I think it's that cynical, and they
it's a lot of like with the standardized testing. It's a lot of the teachers teaching what's the test. They don't care whether or not you actually have. They don't care. They don't care if you want to go to school. They don't care if you actually learn anything. It's like pass this test so we can get rid of you. Send the next batch in.
Yeah.
I think a lot of that. I think a lot of the problem is there aren't many male figures in schools at all. Like most of the teachers are female.
Women.
Most of the teachers are female. Most of the administrators are the non teachers are female. I don't know what exact percentage to put on it, but most of the people in the education system.
Well, yeah, they're mostly female. You don't have enough. You don't have enough males in the education system. You do not.
But there's a good reason for that. Like now you're seeing like they pretty much just don't want men to be around children at all. But other than that, it's like that's not a very lucrative job position.
No.
You're not gonna. I mean, like they're not. It's not a big. You don't really like you say to people like you're a teacher and let me get like a pass for that. It's like okay, that's fine. She's a teacher or whatever. But then you say you're a teacher and you be a man. It's like so you couldn't do anything else. That's kind of like how you're viewed. Like if you're a professor at a university, that's something.
That's different.
But if you're like a teacher, high school, something like that, on a lower level, it's like it's like you're just like not really doing much of anything. And I would say like even if you are a male teacher in that type of setting, you get like stunted because like if you want to do something fun, if you want to have like an actual activity that's going to enrich your students' lives and probably make them want to learn, they're probably going to tell you, hey, stop that, teach them this test, or you can't teach here anymore, move you off somewhere else. I've had teachers.
I mean, you do assume that someone's teaching because they can't do their dream job.
That's the problem with the education system. It's not even about teaching students. It's not even about teaching them for life. That's what schools used to do. Used to teach kids. Okay, hey, not everyone can go to college. That's fine. Some people are just meant to work. Some people don't want to go to college because they want to work. And I think since a lot of it since like the baby boomers just pushed to say, go to college, you'll be successful. When you really think about it, it's like, what does college really do for you? You have all these students, who
put you in debt.
Yeah, we have all these students who got these degrees in gender studies or degrees
communication.
Which are just throwaway degrees for the most part.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, even if you do go to college. Even if you do go to college for the exact thing that you want to go for, there's no guarantee that you'll find a job doing that.
Oh, the sad part is you're more likely to be a billionaire by just, not going to college and entering in the workforce than, being a college student.
Yeah. If you gave a young person, and you don't actually give them it, but you put it aside for their use, 40 grand, say, the same amount you'd spend on your time at college, and you say, right, that 40 grand you need to sort yourself out in life with. You're either spending it on a trade or your education if you want, or start a business or something like that, and you can use it for these sensible purposes. Otherwise, you can't touch it at all. You ain't gonna just sit here drinking your way through that fucking money or spending it all on weed. Very often
Right.
they will be so much better off than their university course.
But it
I
seems
mean,
like the bet is in 2015 and probably for the next upcoming 25 years. It seems like the best possible way to get through life is to, like you said, save up that money and just start a business.
yeah.
It's,
Well, buy a white
that-
fucking van. Buy a white van. People always need someone with a van that can come and do stuff for them.
oh, when you brought up van, I instantly thought of like writing rape van on the side of it. I don't know why.
Oh my
Yeah,
God,
you
no, this is a
funny-
sad thing. I literally want to grab one of those like shady 1980s Ford Econoline vans
Yeah.
and literally get like, a giant panel van, get like the Pedal Bear logo, all that stuff, and go to conventions with that, and saying free candy.
Yeah.
That'd be
Their van.
hilarious.
Oh no, if I did this at like,
It's been done. It's got to have been done.
No, I bet it hasn't been done because too many people are scared. Like, I want to do this. It's like, we'll probably get arrested.
Yeah, they won't let me in the con like this.
They can't see, but that's bullshit. You're not if you're actually raping kids or whatever. I can see how that'd be a problem. But it's a logo on a van.
Well, I think most people would know. Most people would know that it's a joke. Most con people would know that it's a joke.
The security would be fine initially, wouldn't they? And then the feminists would tell them that they're not fine and it has to be stopped, and then it would be a problem. That's
pretty
what
much.
happened.
That's what happened, I think, with Calgary. I don't think Calgary itself had a problem with honey badgers there. I think just someone yelled and bitched to security.
Yeah, we definitely have to stop Cowtown to when somebody's upset or offended. It's like, this person did something that I don't like, and it should be like, and so fucking what? Get off the internet. If you're upset that easily, get off the internet.
Oh my God!
I think what we need to do is I think what we need to do is just like we should actually get like a Gamergate convention started. Seriously, I think in the perfect place I'd actually say, maybe because it's home field advantage, but start it in Dallas. Call it the Gamergate convention.
GGCon.
Yep. GGCon 2016. Let's get it done.
Can I just break in there for a moment? There's breaking news. See, I am useful.
Elfric has left Twitter.
Yeah, Godfrey Elfric's left Twitter. I mean, fuck. There's an account that appeared a while back called Godfrey Elfric's Mum. At Godfrey's Mum, if you want to tweet out, and friend at Godfrey's Mum. But apparently, I think this is basically Godfrey and Godfrey Elfric's mum saying, "Oh, those fuckers have reported my Twitter and it's gone." I think that's probably what's happened. But because he's such a good-hearted soul and so humorous, I think this is his backup account for the Godfrey Elfric thing or whatever. So presumably they fucked him. Oh no, Godfrey Elfric is killed.
Wow, didn't he actually go on to BBC as like a serious activist and just troll the shit out of them?
Yes. He come in there and like, what's that guy's name again? Because he's from Yorkshire. He said, Dark Raider. Oh, it was a terrible. All he did was like do hip hop and eat watermelon. It was a terribly racist character and that kind of thing. It was brilliant. I was crying. Oh my God.
All right.
Yeah. So yeah, he literally. Yes.
Oh, I was about to say, okay, I guess I finish this topic and probably wrap up this live stream. I might think about doing it later tonight or tomorrow, but I only need to wrap this up on my end because, unfortunately, I do have to leave soon. That's unfortunate.
Yes, you're packing and stuff. Are you moving house?
Well, not moving, just going out of town for a couple of days, but I want to get this done, I think.
Yeah. Sure.
I might plan one on Wednesday, so do keep I might plan a better meeting. I might actually put up flyers all day tomorrow and like say, hey, live stream coming up in a couple hours.
Yeah. Well, I'll help spread that around.
Oh yeah, definitely want to keep you guys in, especially Third World. You've been awesome to talk to because we definitely want to have you back in. But I think we just did it too early because all the people in America's time zone just haven't got out of school yet or anything like that yet.
Yeah, but I mean, it'll be there. People can watch it later if they want. It's not like one of those huge 5-hour live casts or something, is it?
No, no, no. Fortunately, it's not that bad. So we do have that. But yeah, it's a shame that Godfrey Elfwick did that.
Yeah.
I always thought it was kind of funny how he trolled the BBC into
Yeah.
that.
It's the end of an era. That was classic. That was just the toughest keck ever. That was apex level antic. Just trolling the fucking BBC. Because this young woman from the BBC was trolling out saying, "Is there anyone who'd like to talk to me about the latest Star Wars film and its portrayals of people in there, and if it's sexist and that kind of thing?" And then one guy who's on saying, "No, I don't think it's all that sexist as well, very much," and that kind of thing. And then Godfrey Elford appeared and started doing his stuff, and the other bloke was like, "What? Am I being wound up here?" And of course, it wasn't him; it was her being wound up. But it was, it
Oh,
was bad.
my funny thing with that was, what was it? Not it wasn't him, but it was I like the meme that's going around that says glass half full, glass half empty. The feminist, the glass is being raped, you misogynistic pig.
Yeah, I'll look that out later.
Water is a sign of the patriarchy.
Yep.
I think the patriarchy is just the Illuminati. Let's just admit it.
The feminine beauty of water constrained by a hard, solid glass that is manliness or male
Yep.
toxicity.
And I think with that, we could probably assume, yep, the patriarchy is Illuminati. We figured it out.
Yep.
Sorry, children. End your lives now.
Yeah, the first GG podcast that's ever come to a conclusion about anything. Yeah.
Yep.
It's
And we've come to the
patriarchy.
conclusion. Remember, children, the patriarchy and the Illuminati are really
Yeah.
the same thing.